Come ride the little train that is rolling down the tracks to the junction. Forget about your cares, it is time to relax at the junction. Lots of curves, you bet, and even more when you get to the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
There's a little hotel called the Shady Rest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
It is run by Kate. Come and be her guest at the junction.
Petticoat Junction.
And that's Uncle Joe. He's a moving kind of slow at the junction. Petticoat Junction.
Mrs. Bradley, when you borrowed the money from us, we didn't give you part of it, did we?
You weren't even around the bank when we borrowed it.
No, but I am now. You'll probably be delighted to hear that I'm running the bank for your old friend, Mr. Gurney, while he's recuperating.
Recuperating from what?
Being fired.
After all the years he was president?
At my instigation, Mrs. Bradley, the C&FW Railroad invested money in this borrower's paradise, and it's my duty to see that it adheres to my usual high standards of ruthlessness, cruelty, and inhumanity. In the files, I've designated this as Operation Thumbscrew.
You know, I've known a lot of mean, ornery people in my time, but you can hang your head with the best of them.
For those kind words, Mrs. Bradley, I'll see to it that your furniture is carried out of the hotel instead of thrown out.
Oh, there's still a chance I might raise the money.
How?
I have a lot of friends in this valley, and maybe they can all get together and lend me the money to save the Shady Rest.
I doubt it. They'll be too busy scurrying around trying to save their own miserable hovels.
What does that mean?
I am foreclosing the undue mortgages and unpaid notes of all of your friends. That should take care of most of the population of this valley. In no time at all, the entire area will be known as Death Valley Junior.
It seems to me you've gone to an awful lot of trouble to shut down the Shady Rest.
Aren't we being a little self-important, Mrs. Bradley? My prime target, as always, is that Stone Age stagecoach known as the Hooterville Cannonball. But with this valley all deserted, the Hooterville Cannonball won't have any reason for running. Termites will gnaw away at its uncomfortable little coach. Happy vultures will nest in its cab. Lizards will raise their young in its rusty boiler. Make a lovely illustration for a Christmas card, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if you hate Christmas.
Great tragedies don't just happen. They're planned. I don't believe I've forgotten anything, have I?
Except for one thing. Rubbing your hands together and saying,
Sorry.
Dice tables, roulette tables, chocolate, pinball machines, and boxes of chips for a Monte Carlo gambling nut. Selma Plout brought it over.
But the every other Wednesday afternoon discussion club voted Monte Carlo night at her house.
She ain't gonna have a house. Bedloe's evicting her. He's cracking down on Sam Drucker, too. Ben Miller's losing his farm. Fred Ziffel's packing his pigs and getting out.
Oh, Uncle Joe, this is too much. People losing their homes, their stores, their farms. The girls being put out of the place they were born in, and 30 years of hard work down the drain.
Well, it could have been worse.
How?
Bedloe could have put us out of here Friday, and we couldn't have had the party.
What is all the commotion? Why, Mr. Davis, it's good to see you. And you simmer down. You're going to have to excuse him. These days, he's so confused he can't tell the difference between a paying customer and a bill collector.
Boy, did Charlie tell me that things have been going badly.
Well, I'd like to say it wasn't so.
I'm awfully sorry.
Oh, we're not licked yet. We still have a little time. You know, the whole family's pitching in. We'd do anything to save this hotel.
You got any ideas?
Well, what I thought
Hey,
first...
girls want to ask you something. Oh, hello, Mr. Davis. How are you?
Fine, Mr. Carson.
You still traveling for that book company?
Yes?
Mr. Davis, would you excuse me, please? Do you mind waiting out here? I want to get your opinion on the effect.
The effect. Mr. Carson, what kind of an outfit is that you're wearing?
Oh, professional gamblers get up.
Gambler?
Ideal stud.
You mean stud poker?
Yeah, you see, the house gets a better percentage than blackjack.
What? Mrs. Bradley.
Not yet, Mr. Davis. Uncle Joe, would you mind helping me move the dice table?
Women, they never can make up their mind. First, they want the dice table next to the roulette layout. Then they want it next to the chuck-a-luck. Mr. Davis, if you ever start a gambling joint, leave the women out of it.
No. Mrs. Bradley.
Oh, Mr. Davis, you weren't supposed to come in yet.
But...
You stay right where you are, and we'll give you the full treatment. Ready, girls? Aren't they good?
We're mighty proud of them. They act like they've been dancing in gambling joints all their lives.
There must be another way to raise money.
No, the girls discussed everything, and this seemed the fastest.
You can't do that. You can't turn this quiet, nice little hotel into, I don't know what. I'd rather you lost it.
Well, Mr. Davis, do you think that we're trying to...
I don't think it's very funny.
Oh, Mr. Davis.
Mrs. Bradley, the strain has been too much for you.
We're not doing what you think we're doing.
We're doing this to raise money for Mom's discussion club.
What?
Can we sell you a ticket? They're only $2. You get $100 worth of chips. And the one who wins the most by the end of the evening gets a prize.
Oh, well, I'll be glad to take 5.
Thanks, Mr. Davis.
When is this little affair?
The night before the foreclosure. This might very well be Shady Rest's farewell party.
Hey, wait a minute. Maybe it don't have to be a farewell party. Mr. Davis just gave me a great idea. Why don't we turn this place into a real gambling...
Uncle Joe, go practice dealing from the bottom of the deck.
27.
You win again.
Willie, you ain't supposed to be playing till the party.
I'm just giving Betty Joe some practice.
We better not let him play at the party. He'd break the bank. He's won 18 times in a row.
Beginner's luck.
It ain't luck, Mr. Carson. I get vibrations from the wheel.
It's kind of like ESP.
Yes? What's that?
Extrasensory perception.
Well, all I know is I get vibrations from the wheel.
What number are you vibrating up now?
16.
$16.
It's beginner's luck. You couldn't do it again in a million years.
18.
13.
I told you.
Hold it, Betty. That's 18. Part of that white paint's wore off that 8.
You're right. You win.
How many times you say he did this in a row?
19 now. If this were Monte Carlo and he were letting his winnings ride, he'd have won $16 trillion.
Willie, come outside. I want to talk to you.
But I'm playing roulette.
Bring the wheel with you. $19. See, you had $222 million riding that time. Payoff is 36 to 1. It's 36 times 222 million. See, 6 times naught, so 6 times another naught.
Can't I go home now, Mr. Carlson?
Well, you got a lot more spinning to do. I want to make sure you ain't a fluke.
I already vibrated 62 right numbers in a row.
Look, Willie, you want to go to Las Vegas or don't you?
Sure, I ain't never seen Montana.
It's in Nevada.
I ain't never seen that either.
You're going to see it as soon as I make sure you're foolproof so as I can get folks to invest in our syndicate.
Uncle
Uncle Joe?
Don't say anything to Kate about this.
Uncle Joe, Oh, Willie, I thought you'd gone home.
I'm trying to, but Mr. Carson won't let me stop vibrating.
You did say vibrate.
Willie's afflicted with the vibrates, Kate. Willie, you don't need to worry. There's a cure for it.
I don't want it cured. Then you wouldn't send me to Las Vegas.
Las Vegas?
Goodbye, Willie.
Bye, Mr. Carson. That's in Nevada, Miss Bradley.
Uncle Joe's going to send you to Las Vegas?
Well, just as soon as he can raise up enough money for my fare.
Willie's going to stay at the hotel. Kate, do you know what this is?
How many guesses do I get?
You think it's a finger, don't you?
Well, it sure looks like one, but I got a feeling it's going to turn out to be something else.
Kate, this is the key to the solution to all your problems. Pay off the mortgage, put millions in your bank account, send the girls to the best schools, clothe you in mink, buy you a diamond, send you to Europe. Kate, there ain't anything you can think of this finger can't do for you.
Oh, I wouldn't want to put it to any trouble.
You know what Willie's got? An extra century in his perception. Willie, vibrate a number for Kate.
14.
14. That's the 63rd time in a row he's called the right number, plus 19 with Betty. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that $32 you got for the mortgage, and I'm going to form a syndicate. We're going to sell shares in Willie, send him to Las Vegas, let him play for a couple of hours, and then he'll send us home a couple of million. We can pay off Bedloe and...
No.
Kate.
You're not throwing away the only money we have in the world on one of your harebrained schemes.
But this ain't one of my ordinary harebrained schemes.
No.
Kate. 8. That's 16 right numbers in a row.
That's the doggonedest thing I ever saw.
How much did I put you down for, Sam?
Nothing. I ain't interested.
Willie, vibrate up another number.
22.
22.
That's amazing.
Then you're in?
You know, I'm out. And I wish I had been when you came in.
Sam, you'll be a millionaire. And all for the piddling price of a round-trip ticket to Las Vegas.
You sure he's gonna win?
Positive.
Well, what's he need a round-trip ticket for?
My ma said I can't go unless I get one.
See, if his own ma ain't got no confidence in him, why should I?
One way. When he starts busting the bank, then casino operators will be glad to pay his way home just to get rid of him. What do you say, Sam?
No, I ain't interested.
A piddling one-way ticket for $1 million.
I ain't interested.
Sam, I'm desperate. This ain't for me, it's for Kate. Don't you want to see her pay off Bedloe?
Well, of course I do, Joe, but I ain't got it. Bedloe's putting the screws to me, too. I gotta pay off my note or I'll be out of business.
Well, why didn't you just say so, instead of letting Willie waste all them vibrations?
Just trying to be neighborly.
14.
14.
Why, Mr. Carson, that's the most amazing demonstration I've ever seen.
Then will you finance Willie's trip?
Well,
Why, Uncle Joe, the idea of bothering Mr. Davis. He's our guest.
that's all right, Mrs. Bradley. If my business were any better, I'd be tempted to put up the money.
This is the most frustrating thing that ever happened to me. I asked Sam, Ben Miller, Newt Kiley, Fred Ziffel. Hey, Willie, you got any money?
Afraid I ain't.
Nobody's got any money. Bedloe has squozed the last cent out of this valley.
Why don't you ask him?
Bedloe? Well, if he ever got wind of the power in Willie's finger, he'd double-cross him away from him and put him on a plane to Las Vegas.
Yeah, I guess he would.
And what?
And I think I'm beginning to see a ray of light. Train's coming.
Oh, wonder if Bedloe will be on it.
He will be if Charlie gave him my message about wanting to get down on my knees and beg for mercy.
He's coming.
Number 30.
Well, good evening, Mrs. Bradley. Well, why don't you get down on your knees and start begging?
Well, that won't be necessary now, due to Mr. Davis.
May we go on with this? Time is money.
18.
I bet on 18.
18. Let's see.
What's going on
None of
here?
your business, Bedloe. You want to let the $82,962 ride?
I'll let it ride on,
2.
on 2. I demand to know what's going on here.
You win again.
How much does that make?
Let's see. That's going to take a bit of figuring. That's getting up into the big money.
Now, see here.
Who is this pest?
Oh, this pest is Homer Bedloe, the man who almost foreclosed the mortgage on the Shady Rest.
What do you mean, almost? I'm going to foreclose on Saturday.
Did you hear that, Mr. Davis?
Well, I can foreclose before Saturday. There's a clause in the mortgage that forbids the use of these premises for illegal purposes, and gambling is illegal.
Oh, but we're not gambling. We're just demonstrating to Mr. Davis how he can win $5 billion.
$5 billion?
Yeah. If you wasn't such a rat, Bedloe, you could have gotten into it for a couple of million for yourself.
I'm not interested in any of your rattlebrain schemes. Now, Mr. Davis, if you take my advice, you'll stay clear of this windbag.
Mr. Bedloe, I'm not in the habit of misjudging people, or I wouldn't be president of one of the country's biggest corporations.
What corporation?
Mrs. Bradley, if this man doesn't leave at once, we can just forget all about sending this young man to Las Vegas.
Oh, Mr. Davis, you shouldn't have mentioned where we're sending Willie to win the money in front of you-know-who.
Bedloe, you ain't wanted around here. Get out.
No, see here.
Sick him!
Oh, cut it out! You get away from me! Get away from me!
And don't come back. Do you think he recognized me?
I don't see how.
Well, my picture was on the cover of Business and Finance Weekly a couple of months ago.
Would you like to try another spin at the wheel, Mr. Davis?
No, I'm convinced. And worried about Bedloe overhearing what he did.
Willie, you better go home and rest up your vibrations. You're going to need them in Las Vegas.
Night.
Try another number.
We've been doing this close as 3 hours, Mr. Bedloe, and I ain't missed one yet.
I want to make sure it isn't a trick of Kate Bradley's.
It ain't no trick. I got SPCA.
All right, Willie, you got a deal. Now, tomorrow, the first thing, I'll get you a first-class train ticket for Las Vegas.
That'd take too long. I gotta be back to school by Monday. You better buy me an airplane ticket.
Airplane? That's a dirty word in my book. You realize I'm with the CNFW Railroad?
And I'm with the Whoville High School, and I gotta be back by Monday.
Well, boy, you're asking me to compromise my principles. What time can you leave?
Here he comes.
Well, Mrs. Bradley, I've been looking all over for you to give you the good news.
You're going to be deported.
Go ahead and laugh. It'll probably be the last chance you'll ever have. That is, unless you see something funny in poverty.
Get to the point, Bedloe.
The point is that 1 hour ago, I put Willie and his talented finger on a plane for Las Vegas. And with him went winging your last chance to save your hotel.
Oh, you're making that up.
You're through. And so are you, Drucker. I'm going to evict everybody in this valley. By next week, it should be one vast, desolate, empty wasteland.
Well, I guess you win, Homer.
Yeah, guess there's nothing left for me to do except finish printing up this last issue of the Hooterville World Guardian.
Sam, I'd like a half a dozen copies for souvenirs.
Help yourself, Kate.
Yeah, take a dozen. Wrap yourself up in them while you're sleeping in the snow.
You know, I think I'll send a copy of this to Mr. Norman P. Curtis, president of the CNFW. Your boss, remember?
What for?
Well, I think he'd be interested in that headline.
Oh, no, you can't do that. Why, Mr. Curtis hates planes. He'd fire me. He'd cut off my pension. I'd lose everything. I'd have to sleep in the snow.
Better take along a few copies of The Guardian to keep you warm.
Mercy.
Oh, you weren't about to show me any mercy, or Sam, or anybody in this valley.
But I will. I'll stop the foreclosure proceedings on the Shady Rest. I'll give you all the time you want to pay. I'll let everybody in the valley off the hook.
What about Sam?
I'll give him an extension on his loan, lend him more money.
Will you put that in writing?
Make out the affidavit.
He already has.
I'll go get it, you sign it, and I'll notarize it.
Oh, this is a terrible day for Homer Bedloe. Wait a minute. What's so terrible about it? I've still got Willie.
Here you are. Just sign right here.
I'm not going to sign anything. I'm back to my old, mean, horrible, natural self.
I'll send Mr. Curtis a copy of this paper.
Go ahead. Willie's gonna win me millions. Let Curtis fire me. I'll probably buy the CNFW and fire him and 700 other CNFW employees. Mrs. Bradley, I want you and all your meager possessions out of the Shady Rest by 0800 tomorrow morning.
Doggone it, Kate. I thought your scheme was foolproof.
Trouble is, it wasn't ghoul-proof.
Stupid dog, what's the sense of dancing to an empty house?
Where is everybody?
I guess they're home packing. That's what we should be doing.
It just doesn't seem possible that we're going to have to move out of this place.
Well, good evening, everybody. Ah, having a party?
Who invited you?
Well, I just dropped by to give you the weather report for tomorrow. There'll be freezing rain, followed by sleet, snow, and sub-zero temperatures. Great weather for an eviction.
Homer Bedloe, you're a fiend.
You're cruel, heartless, unspeakable.
Yeah. He's any meaner, he'd have to be twins.
It would be immodest of me to disagree.
Howdy, everybody.
Willie!
Hi, Billy Joe.
Hi.
Willie, what are you doing here?
I got off the plane at the county seat and hitchhiked back.
Why, you stupid... That's all right. That's all right. Anybody can make a mistake. This looked like Las Vegas. All towns look the same from the air.
No, I got off because I was scared. I ain't gonna fly there no how.
Well, that's all right. We'll send you up by train or bus.
I told you I gotta go to school.
Well, we'll send a tutor along with you. Remember, all you have to do is win for your old friend Bedloe. How's the old finger, Willie?
It's fine.
Well, why don't you vibrate a few numbers for Mrs. Bradley? Let her eat her kindly old heart out, realizing how close she came to keeping the Shady Rest.
Well,
It's all right, Willie.
eight.
12. 12?
Yes, I missed.
Well, try another one.
26, no, 62.
There isn't any 62. Now, stop clowning. What number are you going to come up with?
How's 21 sound?
21. 9? You ungrateful. Well, what's the matter with you? You trying to double-cross me?
Willie wouldn't do that.
No, sir.
Well, what's wrong with you?
I don't know. I had it when I got on the plane. I guess I ain't got it now.
That's it, Homer.
What do you mean?
The airplane scared the ESP out of Willie. Willie, I'm awful sorry you didn't get to see Las Vegas.
I wouldn't have seen nothing but the outside anyway. You know, like you told me about being underage, they wouldn't even let me into the casino.
Joe, get into town, tell Sam to bring that affidavit out here for Mr. Bedloe to sign. You are going to sign it, Homer.
Mercy.
And then tell the folks to stop packing and get out here. We're going to have the biggest, darndest celebration in the history of the valley. Aren't we, Homer?
Oh, mercy.
Quiet, everybody! Quiet! I've got the name of the winner of Monte Carlo night. Sam Drucker. Sam has just won $28,942 in make-believe money and is entitled to the grand prize, a bushel of tomatoes.
Kate, I'd like to split my winnings with you.
Oh, you don't have to do that, Sam.
I'd consider it an honor.
Well, all right.
Draw the curtain.
Can't you people take a joke?
After you.
Here, Sam, let me have it. Let me have it. Go on, vibrate up a number. Go on, vibrate a number. Stupid dog. You gotta show off and vibrate high numbers. Don't you realize while you're doing that, I'm losing millions?
You're just going gonna love Las Vegas.
Petticoat Junction.
This has been a Filmways presentation.